Carl, thank you very much. We're now joined by Ron Paul. Why do you keep leading us in text voting? What do you think's going on there?
Well, I wished I knew. Anyway, the message must be great. The American people are agreeing with this. So I think they're just tired of the war. They're tired of big spending Republicans, and they like their personal liberty.
Now,
so
in front of the Republican crowd, though, you got a few boos tonight, especially when you said America wants the war over and wants the troops home. That didn't get an applause from the Republicans you need in order to get the nomination.
Yeah, I know, but this is a very narrow. We didn't get 1,000 tickets. You know, if I'd had 2,000 tickets, I could have filled that auditorium. So, you know, you have to look at the audience. The big audience is your listeners out there, and evidently Fox has a good listening audience. I mean, they're responding very favorably. Yeah, they're doing very good. I like this audience.
How does an anti-war Republican win the nomination?
Well, the same way all the Republicans have won over the last many years. We've never had a war-mongering president running on that program. Eisenhower ran to get out of the war. Nixon ran to get out of the war. Democrats ran to stay out of war. World War I and World War II, they promised to stay out of the war. So even Bush ran. Don't get involved. Stay out of it. Mind their own business. So Republicans have cleaned up the mess for Democrats for so long, and now we've lost our way.
If that's the case, in the general polling, why does Rudy Giuliani do better? Why does McCain do better? Why does Romney do better?
My name hasn't been in those polls at all. They haven't tested my name.
Really? Is that
and I think their name recognition is much better, so we have a lot to do.
You've been around for a while. You were the Libertarian Party candidate in '88. You've been in Congress for a while from Texas.
Yeah, but I'll bet you if you put up my issues against their issues and find out, I'll bet they'd vote for the issues we stand for.
What do you then need to do at this point to break through?
Start spending some of that money we've raised. You know, we've raised $5 million last quarter. We have it in the bank. We're starting to spend it. We're going to raise twice that much in this quarter, and I think things are going very, very well.
You stand on the stage with Republicans, though, with whom you disagree vehemently on these issues. Do you feel you belong perhaps on a different stage with a different party, with a different bunch of candidates?
No. Well, what about New Hampshire? More than half the people are independents in New Hampshire, and they're sick of the war, and their congressman got wiped out last time around because of the war issue. So I would say that we're in pretty good shape.
Good to see you, Congressman.
Okay.
Oh, whenever I give a speech around the country, you got all the Ron Paul supporters there to attack me. All right, I like that. But listen, you ran as a Libertarian candidate.
Yeah.
So my question to you is, do you consider yourself more Libertarian or more Republican?
I consider myself a Republican with constitutional beliefs. The founding fathers, if you remember, were very much for liberty. So if you're for liberty, which I assume everybody's for liberty, it's just they get mixed up on defining it. If you're for liberty, you're a libertarian. So I'm with the founders on this issue, and I'm with the American people because they do believe in liberty.
I believe in liberty, but I also believe we've got to win this war. There was a Fox News Opinion Dynamics poll of Democrats. 1 in 5 believe the United States would be better off if we lost the war that America would be. Do you agree with that?
No. Who would want to lose? But we're losing right now. We're losing so many men. And, you know, I fought this, and I was in the military for 5 years in the 60s, and I saw the tragedy there and saw 60,000 of our men and women die, and then we did better in peace. Now we're doing much better with peace. We trade with them, and we've worked out the problems much better. We could not impose our will on Vietnam by force, and we can't do it in Iraq.
The difference that I have with you is that, and this is my own personal difference, is that if we cannot take the risk with a terrorist group like Al-Qaeda getting nuclear weapons. But my question is this: if at the end of the day you don't get this nomination, at the end of the day, will you support whoever wins the primary?
If they support the views that I've espoused about,
if they disagree with you,
I wouldn't give a blank. I wouldn't ever give a blanket check for that. Not for anybody and everybody.
So if you don't win this nomination, you may not support the Republican nominee, one of the guys who are out on the stage with tonight.
That would undo everything I've stood for 30 years.
So you'd support Hillary? Or give a half a vote to Hillary?
I don't think so. I don't think so. But I would continue to work for our Constitution, limited government, and freedom.
So you'd vote for what, the Libertarian candidate? If you don't win this nomination, you vote Libertarian?
Depends on who's running, on what policy. Who knows? There's talk of a third party.
Could you support Rudy, Fred, Mitt?
Well, you know, I think they're softening their tone. They're not nearly as militant as they were a few months ago.
You think you Ron Paulized them, like Hanitized them.
They have to listen to these polls, don't they? What are these polls?
This poll is that you've got all your supporters.
You mean your own poll isn't any good?
No, it's just a lot of fun.
No, this is a great audience. This Fox Network is
when
just
you
great.
win, it's a great audience. All right, good to see you. Thank you, Congressman. Appreciate it.
All right, it's time for the final results now from our text voting that's been taking place throughout the evening. Our text messaging poll: in first place, Ron Paul, 34%. And let's move forward. Coming in second place, Mike Huckabee, 27%. Coming in third place, Rudy Giuliani, 11%. In fourth place, Mitt Romney. He came in with 10% in our text polling that's been taking place throughout the evening. In fifth place, Fred Thompson, who garnered 9% in our text messaging. In sixth place, John McCain, 5%. And we have, let's see, taking the seventh spot, Duncan Hunter, 1%. We just finished talking with Duncan Hunter, by the way. In last place, another man with whom we just spoke, Tom Tancredo. So that is the way the text messaging has
you got your Ron Paul folks out there,
down.
so I'm not a big believer in that particular poll.